So your girl done messed up. Like, I messed up, and I am so sorry. So remember how I was telling you guys that I basically scaled back on my vitamin C intake and only by like 2,000 milligrams, but I was taking 4,000 milligrams of liposomal, and how I thought that my skin wasn't looking as bright. Like, I don't know, like I remember a few weeks ago I was all about my skin. I was like, oh my god, I love it, I'm so excited, blah 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 blah. Okay, and then, you know, just within like the past couple of weeks I was just like, you know, it still looks good, but it's not as bright, like something's different. And so it had been only a couple weeks since I talked about, I made the bruises video, and someone pointed out that, you know, the vitamin C can thin your blood, so if you don't want to bruise as much, basically just don't take so much vitamin C. You know, anyways, so it wasn't, I mean, it could have been the vitamin C, but basically today I find out that lysine and glutathione, basically there was a study done, this was a study done in animals, and basically when taking lysine and the glutathione, basically they were able to measure the amount of glutathione that was in the rats' brains, and basically it drastically lowers the amount of glutathione. And so to understand that, you have to understand that basically glutathione, one of the, I guess the #1 advantages to taking glutathione is the cognitive support. It helps people with chronic fatigue, it helps people with Alzheimer's, helps people keep their mind sharp, help you to concentrate, people with ADHD, like, you know, the antioxidant glutathione does a lot. And so taking liposomal glutathione and acetylglutathione, people love it because it basically is able to get into your brain. It is able to get through that, there's like this barrier from the blood to brain barrier. I think it's like it's BB something. BBB. Anyways, blood-brain barrier. So that's why everyone loves liposomal. They love acetyl because it gets there, it does what it's supposed to, and you get all of the great benefits of glutathione. Okay, so for this to be measurable, seeing that with lysine that it actually reduces the amount of glutathione in your brain, yes, it is reducing the amount of glutathione in your blood, and for us that means it will reduce glutathione, you know, in your skin, because you need high glutathione stores for you to start seeing a change. And so I've been on lysine for about 3 weeks now, about 3.5, and I was taking it for my acne, and I was going to give it a full month before I did, you know, a video, you know, just showing, but today I'm wearing makeup, but I can already tell it's not working, you know, enough to even still be on it. But now that I just found out that it does basically reduce the amount of glutathione, which I'm just going to take, yes, if it does reduce the amount that was measurable in the brain, then 100% it's going to reduce the amount that's measurable in your blood. So anyways, what I'm saying, it's not worth it. Getting off of it right now, don't do it. You know, sadly, this is just the nature of things. There are some supplements, even though lysine is all natural, glutathione is all natural, our body can take in both naturally, or our body can actually make glutathione, but it's just one of those things that sometimes you put two things together, and it's, I won't say it's a negative reaction or interaction, because like if you look it up online, you know, you're not going to find anything. You know, for glutathione, people are like, oh, there's no negative interactions with medications that they know of, and the same with lysine. But it's just one of those things where taking one can kind of lower the other. And so yeah, I gotta get off this real quick, like fast quick. And it was just so funny because, you know, this morning I got out of the shower and, you know, I'm just looking at my skin. It's just like, I could have swore I was brighter. And like obviously, like, since I just made a video, I haven't posted it yet, I need to get that going. But I said something about upping my vitamin C again, and or maybe I did post that one. And so basically I have started to up it again, but now I'm thinking it's not that at all. It's the freaking lysine that I've been on for almost 3 weeks. So I made a boo-boo. I made a big boo-boo. So getting off the lysine really fast. I was doing it for hormonal acne. I had found that people had amazing success with it. Well, some people did, and it was just a great way to keep them from getting the breakouts. But I'm still getting hormonal acne bumps. I have one that's coming up there, and I already have one that was here that came up a few days ago. So obviously, for being on the lysine for 3 weeks, even though 3 weeks is still kind of quick to be on any acne routine, usually you need to give your body, you know, time for it to set in, but still I'm still having breakouts. So, and it's definitely not worth it if it's just basically going to be canceling out my glutathione. Now, I don't know how much of it is canceling. I'm not going to say I'm not getting any of the glutathione, because I still think I'm getting some of it, but I'm definitely not getting as much as I would be if it was like how it was before, when I wasn't taking Lysine at all. Like, basically I'm just wasting my money. I'm wasting my money on that $70 a bottle acetyl glutathione that I've been on, that I absolutely love, but obviously it's not worth it to take Lysine and be on glutathione at the same time. So I have to stop immediately. Sadly, this morning I already took 1 dose. For the Lysine, I was taking like 4,000 milligrams a day, which that is a mega dose of Lysine. For most people, they can get away with, you know, maybe just 1,000 milligrams. So yeah, I've been messing up. So I don't even know what to think. Like, it's funny though, like sometimes if you're on a skincare journey, you looking at yourself every day, you seeing the changes, it's not the same as someone else outside of you seeing the changes. So sometimes I think we see things that aren't there. And so that's why, like, I've been looking at myself and I'm just like, I was so pumped and I was so in love with my skin. Like, so I know there's something different, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's like all in my head. But now I definitely don't think it was all in my head now that I know that. But just something made me look up if there were any interactions, and I just basically googled Lysine and glutathione, and sure enough, there was you know, a research paper that was done on it. And they were doing animal testing, which with a lot of this stuff, they do test on the animals first. And they were just, especially there's a certain type of mouse that basically you test anything on them, and the way that they're set up, it is so close to how we are set up. So yeah, if you're seeing just a lowering of the amount of glutathione in the mice, then it's gonna be basically the same in us too. So I'm not messing with it. I'm not messing with it. The Lysine, I'm done. I'm done. It'll just go in my closet somewhere. Like, yeah. I knew there was something different. Like, I knew there was something different. Like, it wasn't just in my head. But you do have to be careful with it's almost like body dysmorphia if you're on a skin journey, because there's some things that are happening and you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not making any progress, but you really are. It's just something that happens to everyone when you see yourself every day. So if you feel like you're not making any progress, sometimes you have to give yourself enough time, like a few weeks. Obviously, if you're seeing fluctuations from day to day, odds are, if you haven't like been out in the sun or tanning or like at the beach, then there isn't really that big of a difference. There probably isn't a change, probably just in your head. But with something like this, like, yeah, I definitely do think it did some damage over the almost 3 weeks that I've been on Lysine and taking glutathione. And when I take it, I take them both at the same time. Now, there is another supplement. It's called the Slippery Elm. I highly recommend to everyone. I've talked about the amazing benefits for being a woman and what it does for down there. That is one of those that you cannot take with other supplements. So don't take your vitamins with the Slippery Elm. Not that it's not like a negative reaction. It's mostly that it won't allow your other vitamins or whatever medicine that you're taking at the same time as you're taking the Slippery Elm. It won't allow it to be absorbed. And it's just because the Slippery Elm is literally very slippery. It's almost mucusy. Not in like a bad way, like it's gonna make you like cough or crazy stuff, but basically just it won't allow whatever vitamins you're taking to be absorbed fully. So definitely they say take the Slippery Elm either 2 hours after you've taken your I don't know, your regimen for the day, your supplements, or take it an hour before you're gonna take it, your supplements, so it's already in your, you know, in your system. But yeah, that is the only other supplement that I have noticed or I know of for a fact that you have to be careful with taking other things. With the Lysine, I don't know if it's the same as with the Slippery Elm, or maybe if it's staggered out and taken at a different time, it won't basically cancel out the other vitamin. At this point, I don't care. Like, honestly, I think it's just taking it in general. It doesn't matter what time you take the Lysine. It's just going to basically lower the glutathione. So like I said, I'm still breaking out, so it isn't helping me as much as I thought it would for my hormonal acne. And so instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to up my amount of milk thistle. So instead of taking 2 pills, I'm going to take 4 pills, so 2 in the morning and 2 at night, and see how that helps with you know, just the awkward chin acne that I get.